Hey guys, Alex Rapetti here, and I've been seeing a lot of people talking about reamping guitars. And of course, everyone has their own way of doing it, but here's what I've been doing, and the bands I've been working with have been really happy with the results. So I'm going to just show you a few different amp sims that I'm using and some different IRs or cabinets, and I'll let you listen for yourself. I'll show you what I'm trying to do. I'll give you an example mix because the most important part of a guitar sounding good is how it sounds in the mix. It's pretty easy to make a guitar sound good by itself. It's not as easy to make it fit in the mix. So here, let's take a look. All right. So first, I'm gonna just play you a little bit of this mix, and let's just get some guitar sound on here. So this is a stereo DI right over here. It's just a scratch track, so don't be mean to the player. And let's see. So I'm going to pull up just a regular preset from Archetype Nolly with the cabinet loaded from the same Archetype Nolly preset. Sounds great already by itself, but here, let's just use this as our starting reference, okay? So here we go. All right, so that's what we're working with. Pretty cool song. As you can see, it's still not finished. There are no vocals here yet, as you can see right there, and no lead guitars either. So this is still just kind of a work in progress, but nonetheless, it's the most recent thing that I'm working on reamping guitars for. So I think that right off the bat, of course, anything Nolly puts out is going to sound good, right? So yeah. So just pulled up a preset. Blood Eagle is obviously a great song from Periphery. Not really the same genre, but nonetheless, the tone sounds pretty damn good right out of the box. I didn't change any settings. Just sounds great already. Now, I should mention that everything is being routed a little bit. There's just some basic processing, just so it sits right in the mix. I have a bit of a cutoff at 100, something around 11 and a half. Just a couple little notches, which actually maybe that's not even so important, but I'm going to leave it anyway. Those are probably more important for later once you know which amp you are using. We got some limiting here from awesome Joel Wanasek plugins, and then just a basic EQ. Now, I might end up getting rid of this guy right here because we don't know if the tone's going to need that bump or not. But I have that there from the tone that was originally in the session. So we'll see. All right, so with that out of the way, the big thing that I want to show here is how using GGD Studio Cab's Cali is going to really change the sound. It's going to make it just fit in the mix. And let's just give it a listen. So I'm going to turn off the cabinet in Archetype Nolly. Then we're going to turn on Cali. And I have one of the presets already here. Pretty sure this is Bread and Butter from Misha. But it's definitely one of these here. No tweaking. It's just one of the stock presets. And I have the Master Q turned on. You know what? I think it's probably better if we listen with it off. So let's do that first. All right. So I'm going to play this same section. Here we go. So that already sounds really damn good to me. I feel like it doesn't need a whole lot of work, but it needs some work. There's definitely some whistles and just a little bit of stuff that we would want to clean up in the mix. So maybe you don't want to deal with that. Maybe I don't want to deal with that. So Nolly was kind enough to go in and include in his plugin a master EQ, which basically is some sculpting that he did so that you can essentially just hit play in a mix and it's just about ready to go. So let's give it a try. I'm going to turn it on and off. Just watch this switch here and see what happens. So maybe it's not the easiest thing to hear. However, it definitely made everything kind of just smooth out a little bit. And it just fits in the mix. It just sounds better to me. In solo, might not matter all that much. But the stuff that is being carved out right off the bat, just with one button, made everything fit in the mix that much better. You can hear the bass, you can hear the kick drum, you can even hear the synths coming through better. It's just not fighting with stuff. It's really good. So now, let's try a different amp, because this is just one amp, one setting, right? So let's see what happens. I'm going to turn Nolly off, and we're going to try Archetype Gojira, which is a big go-to for me as of lately. Now, as you can see, I have a preset here, Raken Gent. The guitar player for Tension Rising and for Infinite Spectrum, Alex Raken, made this preset and shared it with me. And whenever he sends me tracks, this is the preset that almost always ends up being selected. It's just the sound that he likes, and you know what? I think I like it too. It sounds really, really good. So I'm going to turn off GGD Cali, and we're going to turn on the cabinet here in Gojira. And right off the bat, I think this is going to sound really damn good too, because this tone is already quite dialed in. Here, let me show you the amp here. So you can see what we're working. All right, and let's play. Yeah, so that one sounds really good. One thing I'm noticing is that this amp is just a little bit louder than the other, so I think if we're going to actually try and do a comparison, I need to pull it back a little bit. So let's do a quick back and forth now between Gojira and Nolly. Oh, we'll turn the cabinet back on both. Okay. So Nolly. And Gojira. Still a bit of a volume difference here, so let's just get a little bit so you can try and balance this out. Louder does not mean better. So Nolly. Gojira. Nolly. All right. So I think they both sound really good. And of course, the IRs for Archetype Nolly and Gojira are both made by Nolly, so it's no surprise that they sound great. You really can't go wrong here. However, why not get the best that you can get out of it? So I think between these two, I like both. I think for this particular song, the Gojira has a little bit more of the right character I'm looking for. And let's try Gojira now and flip between the Cali and the built-in IR. So we're going to start off with the built-in IR. Now with the Cali. Built-in. Cali. Built-in. Cali. All right. So I think you really can't go wrong here. They both sound good. I think that in this mix, I'm still leaning toward the Cali, however. It sounds a little bit more like that kind of late 90s, early mid 2000s, like Mesa cabinet growl that you want in your chords. I feel like this is just a sound that Nolly has really, really nailed in this GGD Cali. It sounds like you're playing through the best Mesa cabinet you can find. And who doesn't want to do that as a guitar player? So far, I think I'm liking the GGD Cali with Gojira combo. But you know what? Let's just try a few other amps because you know what? There's a lot of really good stuff, and you never know. Sometimes an amp that you don't reach for as often just happens to sound really good in a particular mix. So let's give it a try. So here we go. We have the Fortin. I pulled up a random preset in there from let's see, from Ola. Yep. Shout out to Ola. Awesome channel. And let's just see how that sounds with the Cali. Oh, wow. That sounds really good. I have to admit, I don't use the Fortin Kelly suite very often, but that one really sounded good just now. Let's compare that back and forth with the Gojira a little bit. So I'm going to just flip back and forth. So let's start off with Gojira. Here we go. I think they both sound great. I think I'm still a little bit leaning towards the Gojira, but I really like what the Fortin's doing. I feel like once you're listening between sounds like those, it's really just a matter of taste. Like, do you want a little bit more of that crunch? Do you want a little more of the lows? They both sound really good. You would definitely want to consider running it by the band if you are reamping, because they both sound really good. So let's give another one a try. Tone Forge, Jeff Loomis. I mean, Jeff Loomis is awesome, and so is his plugin here from Joey Sturgis. So I pulled up a preset. I believe this is a Joey Sturgis preset, actually. Now let's confirm that. Yep, Joey Sturgis. Yep, okay. So I turned off the cabinet. Let's just see how that sounds. That's a cool tone, but I don't think that's the one I would pick on this song. I'm not loving the top end. It's a little too crunchy for what I think this track is going for. Still a cool tone, though. I do reach for this plugin every so often. It's a good one. And let's also give this one a try. Got the STL tonality, Will Putney. Will Putney is awesome, and so is this plugin, of course. So I pulled up one of his presets, beefy riff blend. Sounds about right. I turned off the cabinets, and let's just give it a listen. That one sounds really damn good too. It's really different than it was, say, even 5 or 10 years ago. There are just so many awesome sounding amp sims now. And I feel like whatever was missing in them, even just a few years ago, has really, really changed with a lot of these newest impulse responses. I mean, obviously, I'm focusing on the GGD Cali today because I love the Mesa sound. But you know what? I mean, GGD Zilla sounds awesome. The Chains and Rainbows from Cole sounds awesome. Of course, yeah, there's so many. Each one just sounds better than the next. But it's such a great thing to have as a producer and as a mixer and even as a guitar player, because if you wanted to have such a drastically different sound before, you needed to have a lot of different cabinets and amps. And now you can just do it all right on your computer. And these impulse responses, like the ones that are being captured in the last few years, are just so good. They're like, it sounds like you're in just like a perfectly set up studio with amazing microphones, and they're angled exactly how you want them. And not to mention, you get additional control too. You can even like change how dark or bright you want it on here. You can you could change where it's placed. It's just incredible. And of course, in the neural plugins too, if you take a look here, you can even take the microphone around and like move it and like angle it differently at the speaker, and it completely changes how it sounds. It's just so good, and you can have so many tonal options. So I'm going to run through these one more time, and I want you guys to tell me what you think sounds best. So we got 5 different amps here. What's your favorite? Here's Nolly. Important Sweet Cali. Jeff Lewis. Hey guys, I hope you found that helpful. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope that you really consider getting the GGD Studio Cab Kelly. I know that there's so many IR packs coming out nowadays that a lot of people just can maybe feel like it's just, you overlook it and it's fine. You already like what you have, but I'm telling you, these sound so good. I just ran it through like 5 or 6 different amp sims and they all sound awesome. You just click that master EQ button and it just fits in your mix. It's like magic. It's incredible. Nolly really outdid himself this time. Anyway, if you want to learn more, if you like what you saw, please just like, subscribe, and comment below. Tell me what you're interested in seeing, and tell me what you liked about this video. What was your favorite combination? What was your favorite amp? And if you like the song, let me know, and maybe I'll give some more sneak peeks for it. See you guys soon. Thanks.